Hi, Dennis Brock, inventor of the Brock Magiscope in my camper campus. And I wanted to talk about mounting bugs today, and I have a little display here, some of which I worked on a little bit ahead of time. For instance, this wasp, full-size wasp, they really have this tiny little connection between their abdomen, which is back here, and their thorax, which is over here. And so I took a little drop of white glue about 10 minutes ago and bridged the gap there to keep him from losing his abdomen, which, nobody likes to lose their abdomen. So, and that really happens quite easily because they dry out, and the inside of them is like liquid that dries out. They're exoskeleton. The only thing holding them together is the outside coating, the exoskeleton. He, by the way, I don't know if you can see this, getting close. He lost part of his antenna here. Now, not letting anything go to waste, we can do something with the antenna. If nothing else, we can put a little drop of glue right on this piece of paper. Let me show you. And now, if you have glue like I have glue, it's approximately 12 years old, carbon dated, and you might have to persuade some of it out of there. You can do this on anything. Let's do it on here because that way it's clear. A little bit of glue there. Now I had to skillfully pick that up. Got glue on my fingers. Skillfully meaning, maybe like there we go. And I dropped that right there. Can you see that? Get the paper towel and clean off the glue from my hands. Now that'll dry, and that white stuff dries clear. Now I'm not going to push it down into the glue because I don't want to look through the glue even if it's clear. That's all I need to do for that. And I could identify that as his particular antenna by matching up the ends under the high power if I really want to do that. Now let's go back to the whole project, okay? Now we have, what do we have? We have balls of clay, and this stuff is fantastic. You can use it over and over again. You can buy a year's supply. You can buy 100 years supply, actually. $3 at the dollar store. It's messy. The soft stuff is really not good. Get the hardest stuff you can find because the soft stuff gets over everything. The garden clay, the green stuff that they sell for flower arrangements is really good. Anyhow, take a ball of clay, break a toothpick in half. This is a regulation. You get these for free at restaurants if we could get to a restaurant. And break it in half. Stick the blunt end, the broken end into the clay, and that's the beginning of it, just like I have right here. Now you can mount rather large creatures that way. Or this little ant was crawling about here not too long ago, but therefore was a volunteer, and so he was very, very well taken care of and euthanized properly. And if you want to do that, here's a live one inside here that we're going to try and experiment on in a second. You can put him in the freezer. That's how you do that. So how would I get him on here? Well, I have one here that I did. I wanted to show you the technique. It's hard to do with a creature this size, but let me translate it. There's all around the feet. I'm trying to glue him to his feet, on his back, and I will often place it just like that so he stays put. Now that is fantastic because this is pretty dry now. It's about 20 minutes ago I glued it. I can see everything. I can see his eyes. I can see his face. I can see the fantastic exoskeleton he has with that beautiful lacquer green color that's, this is like something you'd put on a BMW or something. All right, now I have him. I need to get some glue. Let's get some glue. Again, I have to use a wand to get down in there. This is 500 years supply of glue. And really what I want to try to do is get in the legs, okay? So let's put the glue on the toothpick. Fair amount, because this is a good sized creature. Put that down. Put this where everything kind of combines. I might need another toothpick to help me guide him. And I'm going to push this down. Now, he's so big, I'm going to mount him kind of sideways. But you see where all that glue is? If I wanted to secure him better, because he doesn't really look secure, I would take extra glue and tie up his legs with the glue, because wherever his legs go, he tends to follow, even on the back side like that. The more legs you have engaged, the better. You can wick this stuff across from leg to leg. You can add another drop 15 minutes later. But basically, this is probably the hardest thing you'd ever had to glue, is something this spindly. But you want it so that when you turn him over, you then can see.
So how do you mount that on the Magiscope and look at it?
Well, let's take the Magiscope. I'm glad you asked that. Now, everything in optics has to be parallel. You have to think about that. Parallel to the lens. Let's put him parallel to the lens. You see how I've stacked that parallel to the lens? And I already know that's close to being in focus because I have this distance, we call that the working distance, memorized in my head because I created this thing. And it's, if I didn't, my God. So I know it's about the thickness of a finger away. I know that that's going to be close to in focus. And we'll show you that later on when we have camera adapters and all that. But so that's really all there is to it. And this guy, give him, because there's so much there, I would give him a good 20 minutes, maybe a half hour. And then you can flip him over. And if he starts to come unglued, you could, add a little drop of glue here, a little drop of glue there, put him back together. His head falls off, glue it back on again, get it on straight. Well, in fact, put it on crooked and see if anybody notices. Anyhow, live from Camper Campus, I'm Dennis Brock of Brock Optical, and tune in again. Thank you.